This is a Staedtler Mars Lumograph 2B. Can it deliver pro results? Let's find out by drawing a cardinal on this Strathmore sketch paper. This cardinal was created using just one pencil, the Staedtler Mars Lumograph 2B. In this video, I discuss my first impressions, a real-time detailed review by drawing with it, and exactly how it performed from start to finish. This is my first time using this pencil. Let's see how it does. This is a 2B, and it actually looks quite lighter, obviously, than that other one, but let's just see what happens. I'm gonna do my construction drawing. I'll start with his head. I'm gonna put him maybe his tail somewhere around this way. Okay, he's got a big old chunky body. Notice the trend here. All right, so they've got it's nice with starting with the circle is that you can figure out where about his beak's gonna be, somewhere in this point, and then kind of go out in front here and then behind here, just from where the reference is. I'm using this edge of this circle to kind of whip back. Look at that crazy hair he's got going on. You don't have to be perfect here, just to line up where everything's at. The fur of his head, his feathers, I don't know what to call it. It gives you a foundation. And then his nut cracking beak he's got going on. Very lightly trying. This doesn't look like a 2B yet, but you know, that's a crazy beak he's got going. Something like that, and kind of flattens off here, comes underneath. There's a bunch of fur coming off. It looks like fur. It doesn't look like feathers coming off the front here. I'm just laying foundation first, like I always do if you watch me draw anything, so that I can figure out where I want everything to go. You can always erase, but I try not to. So the way his eye is lined up, it's roughly in line here, and it's quite ovular despite what I drew there, kind of like this. Even though this is a 2B, if you're light with it, you can get quite a good range, and this pencil so far is doing a great job of that, so I can't say I don't like it. It is very nice. The other one is the other Mars that I used before, the black one, is a little softer feeling. This feels more, not a whole lot softer, but definitely softer. If he starts to look like a cardinal, I've done the right thing. And then his furry face, it is fur, I'm telling you. So it looks like, okay, he's got that crazy sweeping peaks to his hair. It seems to have a really nice sharp point to it too, which is cool. And he has the back of his head kind of comes down here. Now his body is quite large, so let me turn this, making sure I'm recording because last time I wasn't. His body is like a giant oval, for lack of better words. It's almost like a football. His winglings are in there. Winglings comes from Strong Bad, if you don't know. So, and if you don't know who Strong Bad is, go watch it now. So I'm gonna establish the shape first. It's just what I do. It comes way, way back. I'm just keeping that really loose for now. Because if I make it light marks, I can always erase it back. If I make it too dark, it's if I want to erase it, I'm saying. I try not to at this point. I just let things happen. His feather come in here. It sort of is like that thing that cats have. It's sort of like a darkness here where his hairline sort of separate. But then this here is very light. Beautifully colored bird, by the way. It'd be fun to color pencil this in. But he's got sure we all know what cardinals look like, but still, he's beautiful. So there's that one. Not being 100% accurate to the reference, but nonetheless, there's a lot of dark value in there, and this sort of cuts under. This comes out. There we go. When I do this big shape, it's just to get the volume of him right, because if I don't, and then I'm gonna be irritated that I didn't work that in right. So that's why I'm doing that first. I'm gonna start layering in basic ideas of where his feathers are based on what I'm seeing here, and something like this. If you're not confident with the way that you're writing, like if you're writing, the way you're drawing your little curves here for his feathers, you can always use a circular motion, like ovular motion, and then, like I said, be very light about it, and then you can erase it back if you need to. Just an FYI. I'm not too concerned absolute accuracy just yet. I'm just getting the basic shapes done, so I can figure out how far out his feathers are going, and then I'll be layering those out. So see, he's got this little bumpiness here. He's got this little feather coming underneath, and then it almost starts to striate because there's so many, or layers rather, because they're so interlocked. In this picture, he's in snow, and let me I just want to get some of the feathering first. Start building your shapes in, and then you can start to add it in. Just how I do it. You do however you want to do it, man. There we go. And I've been drawing from memory so long now that it makes drawing from reference much, much faster. Again, I'm not trying to achieve absolute realism here, or I should say to copy exactly what I see. I'm just using as a guide. I'm kind of embellishing my own idea of what I want to do. So he's got like this little, like I said, feathering fur-like texture coming off the front. Let's do his eye because he looks creepy. Let's do his eye. I'm just using what I have. His eye is almost jet black, so it's okay to almost burnish him in, you know. That'll work. If you need to, you can go back in with a kneaded eraser and really, this is almost black here, but really dig into the eye there and get it really shaped up. But this is meant to be a quick sketch to try this pencil out and see how it behaves in comparison to the other ones. He does have some fur coming out the front here, like this. You want to call it fur because it's kind of what it looks like. I don't know. This is a little lighter here, but this is quite a bit darker. The 2B is not super, super dark. This pencil reminds me, in terms of the graphite, it reminds me of the Sakura Sumo Grip pencil. You know, you can get really, really dark colors, but shades of pencils. I don't usually use pencil for more than under sketching, so that I can color or ink it or whatever. I used to do a lot of pencil drawing, and it's a great place to start, especially if you're new at drawing and stuff. It's a great way to begin drawing. As you move on, you might want to try different things, which I did, and I started doing more ink stuff, and I always loved comic art as a kid, so that's really what I was interested in doing, again, in character design and concept art, character art, whatever you want to call it. But it is fun to just sit here and do this sometime. Now, a trick if you want to lay down all his little interlocking feathers here precisely, is to just kind of, you want to go find those. In this picture I'm looking at, he has like a grayish, brownish interlocking feathering thing going on. So you could just draw those lines lightly and then use those to guide you. So if you wanted to have this here, this one goes somewhere around here, and just kind of do the same, just do that over and over. Just find where, I'm kind of looking at the reference while I'm drawing, kind of find where those are at. Again, I'm embellishing, but it's kind of spiderweb looking. So then you can take those lines and do one of these. It gives you something to follow, basically like a guideline. They think like, how do you draw and look away from the paper? When I was younger, like, it's because you've been doing it a long time. You start to get pretty good at doing that. Like, you can just keep looking at your reference and keep drawing. Let's see here. How's he doing? What's he look like? Yeah. And then these get more pronounced, comes down. Just an interesting way to throw texture in there, because otherwise he's going to look kind of bland unless you throw in a bunch of color, which is cool too. Yeah, he's got a bit of that going on. You don't have to be perfectly clean with your lines either. Just keep that in mind. You're more than welcome to throw caution to the wind and just have fun drawing it. I mean, if you're trying to go for absolute realism, then yeah, sure, take your time. But if you're just trying to learn from the reference, then, it takes time to get good at stuff, right? So just let it go. And then he's got these big old fat. I'm just going to try to do some of these pronounced lines for his feathering. It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of stacked. It's kind of layered, and it comes to not so much a point, but it kind of rolls right here on the backside. You don't have to be perfect about it, just to put that texture in there. And I'm going to turn this so I can do this a little bit more. I do want that terminus point here where his other upper part of his feathering stops, but that way you can throw those striations, layers in there. And let's put these. He's looking like these. I don't know why. these kind of remind me of if y'all have ever had what are they called? Use Philly meat things that you can get at a store that are like frozen packets. These kind of look like that to me, the way it's layered. So yeah, and then you can throw in some darkness, some shading to give some contrast, especially under here where his wing kind of tucks in. And then I'm just going to throw in some intention of furry, feathery things, because he kind of looks furry, like a chick. You know, chickens when they're babies, they look like furry. That's what it looks like. And there is a feather for some reason sticking right here. It's very, very faint. It's almost transparent. I'm just going to use that for funsies. Leave that there. Then again, you don't have to be painstakingly perfectly accurate with this stuff. I mean, do what you want, but you don't have to be. At least I don't. It's how I do it. Do as I say, not as I do. No. Eventually you'll get better at, and time goes on, you learn stuff. You get better at getting your positioning, your proportions and stuff. I'm not perfect at it by any means, but you can improve by just doing it. I want some more prominence around his eye there. There's like there we go. See, I still haven't really dug into the detail necessarily. I just kind of went lightly, and then you can shade it however you'd like to. It's your texture. It's your little bird, right? I'm not trying to Bob Ross too much. He's right though. Just do whatever you want to do, man. Don't think it too much. I'm just using the side of the pencil to add a little bit of texture here, or a little color, if you will, lack of better words, some shading, just to kind of change up the look of him. These are, like I said, they're kind of interlocked all over the place. They have like a lot of this going on, almost like thatch roof kind of effect. And I'm just being kind of random about that, just to make the texture stand out. Yeah, this pencil's really good, man. I see why people like it. It's easy to push around. I can bully it really easily, Bully it around, man. Do what I tell you. I treat pencil now much like color pencil, where I just keep adding layer and layer and layer until I'm happy with the depth, because the strongest point of darkness on him is this surrounding his beak. I don't even know what to call his face, but I mean, I don't know what part. I don't know if it has a name or not. I'm sure it does. And I haven't sharpened it. Yet. Don't need to. And his tail comes out quite a bit. Their tails are quite long. And the reason that I looked for a reference as well is because his tail is just like so long, and I wasn't sure how it terminated, but it's quite long. So even if it kind of comes to like a rough point. If I look at the other reference, the angle is going this way, so we just do it this way. But I think this is still going to be out of picture because it's almost the length of his body. Like, it's about that long. So yeah, it terminates beyond where this reference is. That's cool. You can always terminate it if you want to. By terminate, I just mean, finish it yourself. It's up to you, but it still feels okay. All right, and we're not going to stop there. Let's give him a foot. So we're going to do his little footy in here, which is basically here. So if you get your proportions right, then when you go to add all the detail later, it's much easier to be accurate if that is your goal. And I try to draw them like they're little cones. See, the way when you go to put the rest of your drawing in, it makes sense. He's kind of hooked to this branch down here, and then this side, I say kind of because he's actually not fully hooked on. It looks like he's just kind of chilling. He's not like fully committed to holding onto the branch. So as funny as that sounds, that's what it looks like. And then there's a big clump here where his foot kind of comes. It's not this dark, but it is what it is. I don't mind. And I'm just going to do a quick little branch that he's standing on. He sort of got his claw into this part of the tree, this little nub here. And this is, looks like this is covered in maybe some lichen or whatever, but it's the winter and it's snowing, so you can't really tell if that's snow or if it's the bark or if it is a little bit of moss or lichen. Oh, there's also kind of like a piece of branch right here, so you can't really quite see his foot. And then his back one is under his butt here, about there, and his claws coming out, his talon. Then we just sweep it into here. He has, like I said, that here, and he's got this. This is all colored. This is all part of him, so you don't see much. Just trying to throw some darkness over here because the way his feathering is on that side. They kind of come together here. All right, cool. I never know how this stuff's going to turn out when I start drawing, so brace yourself, right? Just trust the process. That's what they always say. Just throwing in a little bit of shading in here so he's not 100% white anywhere. Oh, and his beak is quite red, so we're going to I'm trying to get some of that on there. So I'm going to grade up a little bit, and then I'm going to push in where he's darker. I'll try to get some of that texture he's got going on. Not texture specifically, but what's the word I'm looking for? The contour that he has on his little face. That's pretty cool. I don't mind that. If you want to, you can always go back with a white pen and highlight, but you know, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. You do you, boo-boo. The point isn't the branch that he's sitting on, it's that he's sitting on it. It's just something to anchor him to. So this is a little on the long side, but that's not that big a deal. This little claw here. There you go. Is that we have it. And I'm going to try to shave the side of the pencil to get some of that white out of there. Remember, I used to have to think that you have to be like color accurate, or like, you know, these pencil marks shouldn't be, you should do the darkness and not so much the light part, because like these little lines here are actually quite light. They're highlighted, but you can invert it like that. You can do the markings and then shade it up, and your brain will still see it for what it is supposed to be. Let's see how it blends. Yeah, see, that's quite a bit softer than the other one. The other black pencil was a little bit more, what is the word I'm looking for? It's a little bit charcoal-y, almost charcoal-esque. And if you made it this far, I just want to say too, I'm going to be studying yet again, so I might not be able to do as many videos as I'd like to, but if you're enjoying these videos, please let me know. If you're not, also let me know. Am I wasting my time? You tell me. No, I enjoy doing this, so I just want to share it with somebody. Hopefully it's helpful. Either it's good that, you know, you're like, yeah, pencil's cool, I like the way it looks, or, you know, you trust my opinion, or if you like watch me draw stuff, whatever. Let's just see how much it blends out. Yeah, see, that smudges really nicely. That also means you have to protect your artwork quite a bit. If you want to sell it, you're going to need to do some, what is the word I'm looking for? Some protecting. Like, see, that does not want to come off my hand. It's like super graphite-y. All right, let me just do this. Pull some of that out of there. I'm just trying to get that guideline out real quick. There we go. Now to just clean up real quick. Also testing to see how it erases. I might try pulling this hook back a little bit. Let's see. That way I can also tell you, instead of staying true to my rule, how well it erases. And it does a pretty good job. I mean, much as I might expect it to do. It's a little on the dull side there. You can also kind of sharpen your pencil while you're drawing by using the side of it for effect, and then hitting, you'll have that sharp point. So I usually draw with the side of it anyway, which gives me a sharp point when I need it. There we go. Darkening up his leg a little bit. I'm going to see if I can erase that back. Let's see how good this behaves. I do have kneaded erasers I've yet to try. Let me try it. I have these Faber-Castell kneaded erasers. I want to try them. I used to use one of these. I had one in a drawing set. The cool thing is that they last a long time. You can take like a piece of it off. You know, it's tacky. It lasts a long while, like I said. It's not really meant for, if you don't know, it's not really meant to erase hard. It's meant to lift off of the paper without having to dig at it. It's the idea anyway. So you can take a piece of it like that. Get off my bird. Then you can, or you can kind of like put it into a point and kind of erase with it like this. It'll drag a little bit, but that way you can do that and in something like that. See, that looks good. I think you don't have to tear pieces of it off, by the way. You can keep it together, but it will like roll. You can kind of like mush it back in there. See, it's pretty cool, right? It's like Play-Doh. They're supposed to be self-cleaning, supposedly. I don't know. You roll it around and the graphite falls off of it. But anyway, I wanted to try that. I haven't used it yet, so I know I use it like a pleb, right? You can actually do it like this, but you don't have to drag. You can kind of just dab it. Pretty cool. I don't know where I'm going to put that now. Maybe in a black. Oh, I can put it in a Ziploc bag, huh? All right. Well, I think he's good otherwise. There's, whoops. Let's drop it. Put some of this back in there. And the cool thing is you can actually kind of roll it if you want, and then do this. And that way, if you're not happy with the amount of stuff you put down, graphite in this case, lay it right back on down in there. Pretty cool. In case you've never seen anyone use one of those before. They're pretty cool. They're really good for underdrawing and stuff. Let you clean up any guidelines and stuff like that. He's got like a See, it's really cool for doing that kind of thing. Yeah, he's got like a almost angry look to his lip here, or his beak, and then it comes down to a point. So I'm just trying to get that back in there. All right, let's burnish this real quick, and then I'm good to go. I want this to be as dark as I can get it. As dark as this pencil will let me push it. With 2B also, just for the record, if you feel that you need more control, you can use the softer pencils. You can use stump blenders. They're a much better option if you feel like this is lifts too easily. When you use your finger, it makes too much of a mess. You can do it that way. I used to have a bunch of stump blenders. I don't anymore, but here we go. I think he's good. Yeah, this pencil's solid, man. I mean, a lot of people swear by these, and I can see why. It's very similar to the Sakura Sumo Grip in terms of the graphite. Obviously, it's a traditional wood pencil, but it feels good. It feels like any of the other ones. They all have a similar feel. They don't feel like it's too thin or anything like that. If you made it this far, I very much appreciate it. Hopefully you like my Mr. Cardinal guy here. Very much do recommend this pencil if you're looking for one and you're not sure about it. I know they're not very much money, but I know how art supplies can be. You start stacking them like, do I need it? Do I need it? These, thumbs up. Very similar, like I said, to the Sumo Grip, but more of a traditional. If you like a traditional fill pencil, good stuff. So with that, I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for hanging out. Peace.